remain to the business of the governing body. The Commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the Commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments.
So let's continue that a little bit. I am sick of fucking police officers lying in this town. I am fucking sick of it. Police officers take an oath. They take an oath to serve this community and be honest. When police officers lie to hem a motherfucker up on charges, you don't understand. You do not you want to arrest me? Do it legally. Find a legal reason to arrest me and throw me in jail. Until then, keep your fucking hands off me. And Bart Littlejohn, that little stunt you pulled in the back room on muted body cam with Anthony Berxius, I don't know what you talked about, but we'll find out in deposition, won't we? God, you guys, it did not have to get to this. How many times did I come in here and practically beg you guys to stop throwing people out and to stop violating the Constitution? But your feelings were just too sensitive, right, Bart? Right, Lisa? You're named in that too. Is that why you're not running for commissioner and can suddenly talk about things that you probably wouldn't have talked about before? I find it funny that you're asking Craig questions about things you've never asked him about before. All of a sudden, since you're not going to be on the commission anymore. A little bit of freedom there, huh? You guys are going to learn a lesson. The police are going to start following the law. You guys are going to start following the law. I see we're recording public comment now again and broadcasting it, right? Because that's what the fucking law says. If you guys want to help out this town a little bit, you might communicate with some of the other entities in this town to stop fucking around with our rights. Because I'm done playing your games. And I think that's clear with the federal filing that you had to review earlier this evening. I'm done playing your fucking games.
Thank you. All right.
Eric Hyde, 66046. Yeah, I'm sorry I lost my temper earlier. I'm trying to be a better man by not raising my voice like that. So let's just stay calm and say what I want to say. But yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of things. The affordable housing stuff. I used to live at Polar Lofts. I'm still renting there until I move into my new house. Well, we're already in my new house, but anyway, I was slandered to my face by the maintenance man and a gossiping lady at the Polar Lofts. And the Polar Lofts, they manage like all the affordable housing around downtown. So it's kind of a big deal. The maintenance man's like, take your medicine. And I just expletive this, expletive that. Like, you expletive slanderer. Because, that's one thing I forgot to bring. I was going to leave a book for the Lawrence Journal World, who did not write an article on my campaign until the 20th or something. So I'm pretty sure that Chad Lawhorn, the editor, does not believe in God. And 1 Corinthians 6 says, if you cannot handle your strifes with people who are non-believers, you have to take them to court. So I am announcing, somebody has sent me a list of lawyers or attorneys. I found it, thankfully. And I'm going to try to be really calm and collective and just, I'm seeking a year of his salary. He's damaged me. When I ran for commission in 2020 and 21, he omitted me from the paper. And that omission and all that stuff of the news, that selective news, that contributes to defamation of people's character in this town. He posted pictures on his articles about me or authorized them, making me look like a madman or a fool. I'm sure I am kind of a madman, but I'm not a madman. I'm just wacky. because I was whacked really hard by a car on 27th Street when I was 8 years old. You get it? I'm wacky. That's just how I am. I can't help it. But anyway. But thank you. I watched you guys from afar. Thank you for doing you do. I appreciate you, even though I give you a really hard time. So thank you. And that's just what I want to say. And why don't you publish that, Lawrence Journal World? Then I'm going to sue you for slander, libel, and defamation. And I already have a list of names.
Thanks, Eric. Another general public comment?
Going for a foursome here tonight.
It's a good one, Daniel.
Let's get into something of concern again. Vermont Street and the storm sewer project. Right now, it is between 4 and 5 weeks delayed. The 4¼ inch rain that we had the other night did not allow them to dig in the excavation for 3 days. It completely flooded it over. The Vermont is going to be closed. You're not making Vermont for football games. And this thing is supposed to go down 8th Street and then down Louisiana 9th. You're going to be lucky if you have it by Christmas. The ditch, the excavation is 20 feet deep. And the ducts, the interior dimension is 7 foot. Then it's down stepping to 6 foot as it goes up literally 8th Street. The engineers do not know what they're doing at the stadium. Trust me. The riprap, you go up there and look, the riprap, all the brand new riprap, over 1,000 feet of it, the size of softballs and footballs, all granite, was all washed out on the top of the culverts. So whatever the engineering specs are that they're doing in the stadium, they don't have it. They don't have it. There is concern that they're asking, and I'll go ahead, they're going to the Chamber of Commerce, different businesses along 9th Street to delay the excavation project that's supposed to take out 9th Street by the Mill Restaurant and then head up, Mississippi for the World Cup. You guys don't know what you're doing. If you bring that street down during the World Cup, you shut down the Oriad, you shut down everything. And you do not want to do that, trust me. And they're going to have to come in. You need to go down there as a group and see their excavations, the way how they're caving in. The walls are caving. When they're digging a 20-foot ditch, it becomes 30. And already in the new storm sewer, there's between, I'm going to guess, a foot to 18 inches to 2 feet of sediment from all the caving in that's rushing into the new storm sewer. You're literally going to have to take some sort of a small skid loader into this thing. Now, if you can imagine all that's happening, wait till you bring that on 9th Street and the engineers for the stadium don't have it together and all their riprap washed out. And when this hits by Owens Flowers and Fork and Tumbler and the Mill and all the other restaurants, they're going to have to go down shoring. They're 20 feet down.
Okay. Thanks.
This is something you really, really have to consider, and I would put the brakes on it all.
Appreciate you.
Hi, my name is Kincaid Dennett. I live in the Oriad neighborhood. It's my 3rd time up here tonight. So I'm going to be quick. I want to thank the commission for agreeing to place the Fusus issue on the agenda. I think that if you look at other communities that have dealt with this, many of them do have buyer's remorse. And we are unique in that we caught it before full implementation. So we do have a way to, there's various contractual off-ramps that we can still look at. And I do think that this group, from some of the conversations that I've had, is interested in looking at solutions together. Commissioner Finkeldye, you said we might not always agree on all this, but we're going to look for solutions. And I'm looking forward to moving forward in that spirit as well. So I'll spare you the rest of what my comment that I submitted was. I will point you to the statement of work that we found through a Cora request. It does have some pretty alarming stuff in it that I don't think was super available. I would also say that sooner than later is good for this, because as was mentioned, I think fuller implementation goes in October. So this becomes more entrenched the longer we wait. So I think sooner than better is good, but I do thank the commission.
Thank you. Okay.
John Eames, 66049. I want to talk about Fusus. Before I get into it, though, I want to apologize to the commissioners. I used some triggering words earlier that caused a disruption. Didn't mean to, wasn't casting stones. I was trying to talk about lived experience. I could have been more circumspect, but it is what it is. So Fusus, if you read the marketing material, which has been so kindly offered up by our organizer, is all about assisting our police in fighting crime. So we must have some. I hope that's not a triggering word, but I assume there's a reason for the police wanting it. I previously talked about safety versus privacy, but I was curious what some experiences were with cities that have used systems like this. I'm going to use an example of a city. I'm not comparing cities. It's in no way similar to Lawrence, but it has quite a long time experience with cameras, and it has a lot of crime, more than we do. But I was just interested in what's going on, and Washington, D.C. is in the news, and they have an extensive camera system. The District of Columbia has a real-time streaming camera system that's on the street, in stores, and in homes. It has nearly 700 cameras installed throughout its city. It's small, but it's a lot bigger population. And those 700 cameras stream to a crime center with dedicated officers monitoring cameras real time. And I understand we haven't proposed that, but it's a logical extension over time. It's been in place since 2017. Mayor Bowser, the mayor of DC, says the video footage helps the Metropolitan Police Department officers quickly and effectively solve cases. It also serves as a strong deterrent for those intending to commit crimes. Really, we've paid attention to the news lately. Carjacking crime is rampant in DC. It happens on the streets where the cameras are, and it's spiked in recent weeks and is carried out by youth gangs, too young to be charged as adults. You would think the street and store cameras would see the gangs coming down the street heading for cars, and a response could be prepared ahead of time. No, carjacking is rampant throughout, and people are often injured and not unusual to be murdered, in fact. So, DC knows this is a problem. What is a sophisticated city like DC to do? What they're doing now, today, this week, is hand out dashboard cameras to be placed in cars, of course, right? The cameras are free to those likely to be carjacked, thanks to a $500,000 grant.
Time.
Okay. Thanks, John.
The issue is you have to know what kind of crime you're trying to solve.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
I'm Mazzy, live in the Oriad neighborhood. This time I am here to talk about Fusus. But aside, wanted to thank Commissioner Sellers for giving the KU Gateway project the energy it deserved. But aside from that, with Fusus, thank you for considering it. The statement of work was very alarming. Some of the services that they offer were, to someone that lives in the town where those services are being implemented, somewhat concerning. Surveillance does not equal safety, does not make towns safer. It makes the most marginalized people in those communities less safe. Axon has a history, a pattern. It's their corporate strategy. They go around little towns, convince them they need things that they don't need, that will make them safer, but won't. and force them to spend this little extra more on top. I understand that the 3.2 million it's all for more. I understand the importance of body cameras. I understand that the police department is going to buy new stuff. They were upsold, and it's unnecessary. And cities have buyer's remorse. The community members don't like it. And again, it does not make the city safer. Surveillance does not equal safety. I want to put again on the point that this is somewhat urgent. It goes into effect in October, and it's slowly becoming entrenched. There's things that are already happening. There's, I think, there's at least 100 cameras already integrated. Fusus and Axon have just partnered with Ring. So now people's cameras, and it just all becomes, the more entrenched it comes, the tighter the web becomes, the harder it is to untangle that web, especially when we have agreed to be as deep as we are. It's important that we talk about this quickly. It's important that we actually consider every single thing that will be coming into the town with this software. But I look forward to coming to more meetings. I look forward to hearing more of your conversations concerning this. And time is of essence. Once again, just want to reiterate, surveillance does not make us safer. And the upselling that they did was just another corporate strategy and not to help the city or even the city's police department. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Flowers. I'd like to bring up what I brought up last week. I think that if we can do all this security camera or all this footage, I guess, from cameras, why can't we be having our police body cameras going all the time? I want to bring that up. If we're going to be looking at our police policies, why not that? Because it's been a while. I think Herbert was still on the commission at the time when the body cams were approved. And I'm pretty sure one of the reasons given was, that's too much storage. We can't have these body cams on all the time because of storage issues. So I wonder, is that still an issue? Like, however many years it's been, is storage still that expensive? I'm guessing not, if we can afford it for all this going on with this Fusus stuff. And also, I want to bring up this work session. Is this work session just going to be city staff trying to convince us to accept all this? I mean, just because you've asked for a work session doesn't mean anything's going to get done, because that's not... aren't there no yes or no votes done at a work session? It's just, here's the info. You commissioners use it as you feel like. So I just, if you're going to call for a work session, I hope some of you are going to be prepared to actually try to vote to stop parts of this. Now, I want to get on a different subject. I just noticed this tonight. How come when Commissioner Sellers asks for a roll call vote, she gets to be like the next, it goes this order. So some of these, some of the what you were voting on required, was it 2/3 majority. So by doing a roll call vote, I'm just wondering if it allows her to see how the others vote, so she knows if she can vote no or not, and not affect it not going through. So I want to say, if someone asks for a roll call vote, they should be the first one to vote. And also, even if not, shouldn't the vice mayor be the second to last if the mayor goes last? And I'd like to bring up, she got third place. So shouldn't third place get the least advantage? And I'm saying the further down you go in a roll call vote, I think it does give you more advantage, because if you want to vote no against something, but it's still passed through, so you can be on the people's side, but still not affect, the business side. So I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Patrick Ross, 66049. This one's called Infiltration Stinks. I saw a skunk cross the road on my ride home the other night. My mother asked me what I thought it meant. I told her that something stinks. I didn't know what it was, but I figured I'd give it a think. The commission cut the forest down. Maybe it was that fellow in the salmon-colored shirt by the door. It was hard to breathe when I got up to talk, so it could have been him, but then again, I tend to get nervous. Why that happens, I don't know. Maybe it was on account of I knew those woods were going no matter what I said. It's hard for young folk not to feel overwhelmed these days. The chief of police seems like a good man. When you speak to him, he's fairly accountable. His officers are a pleasant talk too. Given the role of police in our society, it's only fair that our community discuss law enforcement, surveillance, and the need or desire for new technologies. It just stinks we're so afraid. You can lose your mind trying to talk or trying to learn about bonds and sales tax. KU's not hiring teachers anymore. Won't give them a union either. They're building grocery stores on educational land. But it's all right. I hear we got a mighty fine football stadium. They like sports down by the wetlands too. It just stinks river otters don't know how to play soccer. I'm not Randy Larkin. I'm not the deputy city attorney, but I can tell you that you should be afraid of administrative decisions. The mayor once said the woods weren't a, quote, special ecosystem for the community, although it is for the neighbors, end quote. He used this to justify the development. However, he also voted to rezone the wetlands under the auspices of false promises for affordable housing. That ecosystem is special to the community, and currently its fate is at the whim of administrative decisions. There are no longer any plans for housing, and yet it was rezoned for that purpose. The Army Corps of Engineers and Environmental Protection Agency no longer believe there to be any official wetlands. I asked the mayor to justify any future vote on the new Boston Crossing project to be based on his past publicly stated environmental reasonings. If the previously rezoned plat for Phil Bundy's land be administratively determined by Planning Director Jeff Crick to not be substantially changed, subsequently requiring the project go back to the Planning and City Commissions, considering a sports complex is vastly different than a commercial and residential housing plan that did not include it, then dare I say I consider it an act of treason to the mayor's community, a special treason. In fact, I volunteer to pay for a live camera feed as part of the Axon Enterprises Fuses program to monitor Jeff Crick's decision. His past decisions circumnavigating floodplain codes through the BZA warrant such actions, and if I could quickly update the community of Lawrence, a community I consider quite special, on what's going on south of town, it just stinks. And a little add-on to that, I would also like to say that I personally like Snoop Dogg and Little John. And the first movie I worked on in Hollywood was Straight Outta Compton. And those are all great artists. And I'm glad they made the music and art that he did. Thank you very much.
Patrick. Any other public comment in the room? Just can you check online? Sure.
Yeah, we do have one.
Thank you.
John Latham.
Hello,
I hear you.
John Latham, 66047. Yes, the hedonism of those musical acts is just so amazing. I can't understand it though. The debauchery, the degeneration, the lurid, hedonistic gluttony of it all. It's just too much. And some folks, though you may find it to be an appealing art form, I caution you, it is of the world and it will consume you. That's all.
That's all the comments, Mayor.
Is that it? Okay. Motion to
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion by Larson, second by Little John. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion passes 5-0. Good night, everybody.